Query store. Query store is one of the store that has information about your queries. Mostly the information that are related to your history of a query, plans, and runtime statistics are available in the query store. You will have to enable your query store using this command, that is alter database and query store tool. And you will have all your statistics for the query in your query store. This will help you identify the issues with your query. You can find your query store here. So if you see in the query store, you can help identify the regressed query. So regressed queries are those queries whose performance have been impacted with the new changes that are brought in. You can also see the resource consumption. Similarly, you can see the top queries and all the statistics that you want to see with the query store. Next, we have execution plan. Execution plan is something that gives you insight into the operators that are happening with your queries triggered. For example, the first one which I have is table scan. So we'll go to the database and try running this particular query and see how it looks. So if you run this query, I have actually enabled the live query statistics. So if you run this query, you see a table scan is happening. The reason being, this address to person address to table address to does not have any index that are created, and hence it is scanning the complete table. Okay. Similarly, we have, I'll run another query and see. So here it's not table scan, but an index scan. So instead of doing table scan, it's actually scanning the index that is already present. In our case, it's non-clustered index, that is IX address state province ID. Okay, so it's actually scanning the index because the index is already there. Similarly, I'll run one more query. So these are index scans. In case you already have index, you will have index scans. Okay. So there it can be either a clustered or non-clustered index scan. So in our case, it's non-clustered index scan. Okay. Similarly, we have index seeks. So index scan is scanning the complete index, while index seek is seeking one particular row. For example, if I use row UID equal to this and execute the query, okay, I see an index seek happen, okay, on the row GUID. Reason being, we already have an index on this row GUID. We can simply go to tables, okay, person, address, indexes, and you see one index that already exists on row GUID. Okay, so this is a non-clustered index, non-clustered unique index that is already on the row GUID, and hence you are getting one index seek. Similarly, you have arrow size. Arrow size is nothing but whenever we have a data flowing, for example, a data flowing from index 6 to nested loop join, you see the size of the arrow. Okay, so here the arrow seems a little thin. The size of arrow also determines the size of data. The bigger the size of data, the higher amount of data. And generally, our execution plan are read from right to left. Okay, so we don't start from select, we actually start from right. Okay, and top to bottom. So we generally start with index seek and then key lookup and then we go left. So that is how our arrow determines the size of the your data.